All right, Christian, you're back again, man. Little bit of an unexpected set of circumstances the last time you were here at Mohegan. I kind of want to hear it from you first and foremost. I guess, why didn't you fight last time? We talked on media day, you weighed in, you looked fresh, you came in light, and then next scene, I get a text that a couple hours after the weigh-ins, the fight got called off.
Yeah, man, it was just a very unfortunate and weird turn of events. The doctor that was doing my physical, he, pretty much gave me no time at all from the moment I weighed in to the moment he started the physical to rehydrate or eat or anything. And, I don't really think they fully understand what we do as fighters and like the weight cutting process. Cause, it's not like our heartbeats are going to be totally normal after we just get off the scale, and he was like, your heartbeat is irregular, so I can't pass you. And I was like, well, can I just have a little bit of time to rehydrate and like eat something? I've been cutting weight. And he was like, yeah, I'll be back in 20 minutes. And gave me literally 20 minutes to do all that, and so he came back and he said my heart rate went down significantly, but he said my heartbeat was still irregular, so he still couldn't pass me. And I'm like, okay, well, if my heartbeat went down after 20 minutes, can't you just give me, like a little bit more time? And he was like, no, I'm sorry, I already gave you time. And it was just weird. The whole thing was weird. The whole vibe was weird. And, it was unfortunate at the time. I was definitely upset at the time. But, I feel like everything happens for a reason. And here we are now. I got a very tough opponent in front of me, and I'm here to bring my A game.
And you never had any issues with that prior or afterwards, right? That was just kind of a one-time occurrence.
Yeah, definitely a first for me, for sure.
Yeah. Well, you are here, and you were quickly rebooked against Ben Parrish, but he did not make it to fight night. But you got Simon Biyong, which we were talking off camera a little bit, and it's that big name matchup. Every time you're in here, I ask you, how's the process going? How are you developing? When do you think you're going to be ready to kind of fight those top tier light heavyweights? And here you are. Was there any hesitation on your part to take that jump finally and face a guy that's got a record like his?
No, not at all. Once I learned about him and learned who he was, I was more than willing and more than excited to take this fight. I believe this is going to be my breakthrough fight. And once I dispose of him, then the light heavyweight division will be on notice, and I'll get those big name fights that I've been looking for.
Yeah, do you feel like this opportunity, you can kind of, I don't want to say prove doubters wrong, but you have the ability to prove a lot to a lot of people, right? So are you really looking to capitalize on that and kind of make a statement like, hey, I only have a few fights under my belt, but you can start calling me a contender?
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Because, it's definitely been a good journey so far that I've had here in Bellator, but I feel like I haven't even reached my pinnacle yet. And this fight will kind of be the stepping off point to reaching that pinnacle that I believe I'm destined for, which is fighting for the belt. The pinnacle is fighting for the belt. And then past that, is just being a champion for as long as I can be. And this is the start of that, so I'm more than thrilled to take this fight.
And I know we just found out about this. Like, I think when I got the press release on Monday for the lineup, I was like, wait a second, that's not the fight that I thought was happening. So how long have you known about this kind of combined matchup where his opponent fell off, yours fell off, and you guys were booked?
I literally found out last Friday. So I left Albuquerque on Sunday, and I found out on Friday. So it's definitely like a last minute thing, but I'm okay with it because I've been in camp for 3 months now. I was preparing for Ben Parrish, and then he got COVID, I failed my physical, and then, got right back into camp, took no time off, and then he failed his COVID test, and here we are, 3 months later, 3 months of training camp, I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm ready to make a statement with this one.
I love it. And is there anything that you had to change, I guess, maybe not in physical preparation because you only had a couple of days, but at least in your mental preparation, your game planning for a guy like Simon versus a guy like Ben Parrish?
Honestly, I think the only thing that changed was just knowing that, obviously no disrespect to Ben Parrish because, Ben Parrish actually is a very skilled opponent in his own right, but Simon Biyong is definitely a step up in competition as far as top level athletes, and top level fighters. So the only change was expecting a bit more of a challenge, and that's really it. Other than that, I believe on any given day I can hang with any light heavyweight in the world, and I'm going to show that in this fight.
I was going to ask, if you think there's going to be an adjustment period, but you train with some of the best guys in the world anyway, so this shouldn't be something that's too foreign, right? I mean, having been in the gym with John Jones and some others that, you're familiar with kind of that level of speed and power and whatnot.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this guy, there's literally nothing that he could show me that I haven't already seen in the gym. I train with too many good athletes and too many good fighters. There's John Jones, obviously the most obvious one. Devin Clark, light heavyweight in the UFC. Juan Adams, Dontel Mays, Davion Franklin, Joel Bauman, and just a bunch of like real world-class athletes. And, I don't think there's anything he can show me that I haven't already seen.
For sure, man. And I guess my last question for you, the Grand Prix is going on, and I asked him this question, and he seemed kind of open to the idea, but I know that with alternates and whatnot, you never know, people fall out of the tournament. If you get a win over a guy like him, would that be an opportunity that you would take advantage of if they offered it to you to jump in the tournament?
I mean, $1 million sounds pretty nice to me, so.
I'm not trying to twist your arm. But.
Yeah, I mean, $1 million, that's life-changing kind of money right there, so. Yeah, I mean, if they need somebody, I'm your dude, hit me up. I'm more than willing.
For sure, man. Actually, one more. What do you think when you play it out in your head and you and Simon get in the cage, the door closes? What do you think's gonna go down when you guys fight?
I would say just expect a dominant performance on my behalf, and really something that I haven't gotten to show in my last fights, but definitely a dominant performance on my behalf.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your time, and good luck, man.
Thank you.